Well, hello, class. This particular week, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of things. We're going to spend in 3 or 4 days on chapter 16. And one of the things in entrepreneuring is looking at the sources of equity financing. And then in the last 3 or 4 days of class this week, we're going to be looking at the sources of debt financing. So here it is. What happens when we try to build equity, and what happens when we try to pay off our debts? How do we finance that? So let's look at some of the learning objectives in equity financing. And that is trying to explain the differences among two types of capital that small businesses require. That is fixed and working capital. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to look at the different sources of equity capital that is available to entrepreneurs. Um, where can we get money? Friends, relatives, something we call crowdsourcing. That's a form of raising money. Accelerators, angels, corporations, venture capital, um, PSOs, commonly known as public stock offerings. And we're going to look at the 7 sources of funding that the founders can contribute to their new business. So we're looking essentially at describing the types of businesses that attract venture capital financing, and we're going to look at venture capitalists and how they make decisions to decide on their investments, and your business could be one of them. And we're going to explain the process, the advantages, and the challenges of going from private to an IPO, better known as an initial public offering. So the chapter here in your book will be in pages 549 and 550 that are going to essentially summarize these learning objectives. Then, when we go to chapter 17, we're going to be looking at debt financing. So, here we're going to try to look at the different sources of debt capital and the advantages and disadvantages of each. And we're going to try to get into the types of financing that are available from non-bank sources of credit. So here again, when we owe debt, sometimes we have to go to people that loan out money, but maybe at a higher interest rate than you would get from a bank. So we're looking at also the sources of government financial assistance and the different loan programs that these agencies offer. So, looking at different loan programs, there are some for SBAs, for small businesses, specifically for that. You can look at your local Chamber of Commerce's. They provide a lot of information for small businesses that are trying to break into different markets. As long as they have good backing, SBA will listen to you. SBA will give you a loan if you need one, if you qualify. And there are also state and local economic development programs. Would you be on board with that type of an initiative? And we're looking at different types of financing growth and also, real important, how not to become a victim of a loan scam. So this chapter review is on pages 579 of your book and summarizes all these learning objectives that we just went over in chapter 16 and 17. Of course, we can't cover every single thing, but it's going to help you get an idea of, all the work that goes into financing a business, paying off the debts, raising money, getting it off the ground. Small businesses fail because they don't, and again, it goes back to not having a sound business plan. So, good business plan, good target markets as a result of a decent feasibility study. And also, the important thing is to really have a marketing plan that is conducive to or integrates into the business plan as a result of doing a good feasibility study. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going for this coming week.